So I'm not used to talking and talking to a computer. So hopefully this doesn't turn out so awkward. Okay. Um, I want to respond to the reading that we have for tomorrow. It's three television, or it's probably chapter three, but television graphics and the virtual body, words on the move. And I thought the reading was pretty interesting. I like the whole 3D aspect of it and the descriptions and like the swooping. Um, I thought when I was reading it and I first started reading about these logos, animated logos, I was like, oh, I've never seen an animated logo. And then the more I read, the more I realized, yes, animated logos are all throughout TV. Like you see them everywhere. Um, an example of like an older one that like the graphics are so good now that they just kind of pop up in the screen. Like in the corner, for example, like NBC, you'd see like, I don't know, like football. I don't know if that's on NBC, but like ESPN, there'd be like a football guy in the corner while you're watching like a show, and it's like football game at 7 tonight, and he's like running there in place or whatever. But yeah, what I was saying earlier is like movie theaters in the beginnings, and I'm pretty sure they still do this. That's where you definitely see logos for um, like THX. They have that sound effects one. But that's like sound effects as opposed to visual. But visual, there's definitely the one where there's like the popcorn popping in the trash can, and it's like, please be quiet, turn off your cell phones. It's like boop 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 boop. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that is definitely what they're talking about in this essay. Um, but looking at that, I definitely know like, oh, this is totally 70s. This is totally 80s. And reading these things, it's like, yeah, that was when they didn't have that great graphics, but they did pretty well with like virtually moving the backgrounds. For example, not Kubrick, but George Lucas for Star Trek, he would move the background of the plane as opposed to the plane, making it look like the plane was swooping in and out of action. I remember when I saw that scene. Um, it's like the Death Star, and there's Luke in his starship, and then Darth Vader or like some of the other evil guys are in their planes. And I thought that scene was like cool, but it's pretty unrealistic, like the explosions and the movement. But my parents were like, "Oh, when we saw this when it first came out in the movie theater, it was unbelievable." And I'm sure that made my expectation way too high when I was watching it. But when I look back, it's like, wow, I'm sure that was really cool seeing it. But I was spoiled, I guess, with modern graphics. What else did I want to say? Oh, so I actually looked up, they talk about the CBS Tuesday movie in here. It's the intro for some show that they have on Tuesdays in like the 70s or 80s. And so I read about it in here, and it seemed pretty ridiculous and crazy. And so I wanted to see what it actually was like, and it seemed much more normal watching it than reading about it. But reading it definitely points out like the weirdness of traveling through space and these dots flying by and these monumental words like CBS and Tuesday and repetition and all that. So a lot of planning goes into it, but and it's only a few seconds long. I'm sure it took weeks and weeks, but yeah, they don't have those kind of introductions so much in television, at least that I can think of. They easily could. It's just not something that pops out anymore because it's so normal. And then I thought it was interesting at the end here, the author. Oh, I don't even know who the author is. I'm assuming it's a guy, just because it seems all depressing and stuff at the end. So, okay, I need to find. I'm sorry. Okay, no, I don't need to find. Margaret Morse. Oh my gosh. Okay, female. Okay, female. Uh, at the end, the last sentence is, without the taming work of culture that marks and maps and frames, we would risk regression in a world of mundane magic transformations and commodity terror. And so it's talking about, like, in the future, like, it's just going to be, I don't know, it's just a very, very grim look on the future, and that scared me. Okay, I'm running way late. And I thought it was interesting how she talked about flat screens and how they're completely different than television, like boxes, the TV box. Like at least the box could contain the or could contain the virtualness as opposed to the flat screen, which kind of blends the membrane between virtual reality and real reality. So, yeah, that was pretty interesting. I liked the reading. It was entertaining. All right, thanks for listening. Bye.